The night the billionaire's wife collapsed to her knees in a hospital hallway, clutching the hands of a man she had never noticed before, the world seemed to hold its breath. Nurses froze, phones stopped ringing, and for the first time in 8 years, her daughter, who doctors said would never stand, never speak clearly, never live without pain, took 3 trembling steps toward the man who had just changed everything. No one would have guessed that the man standing there, eyes red and jacket frayed at the cuffs, was a single dad who could barely afford bus fare. Ethan Cole had learned long ago how to disappear in plain sight. After his wife died giving birth to their son, he worked 2 jobs, slept 4 hours a night, and learned how to fix anything that broke because paying someone else was never an option. He didn't complain, he just survived, and survival had taught him something powerful. When you love someone enough, you don't accept the word impossible. Across the city, Isabella Roth lived in a different universe. Her mother, Victoria Roth, was a billionaire CEO whose name moved markets. Their penthouse overlooked the river, but inside it was heavy with silence. Isabella had been born with a severe neurological condition after a complicated delivery. She used a wheelchair, struggled with muscle control, and endured therapies that left her exhausted and frustrated. Victoria loved her fiercely, but love couldn't buy what she wanted most, a future where her daughter wasn't trapped inside a body that refused to cooperate. The challenges came early and often. Doctors spoke in careful voices, full of limits and statistics. Schools turned Isabella away, citing lack of resources. Therapies cost fortunes and delivered inches of progress. Victoria blamed herself for every setback, replaying that night in the delivery room over and over, wondering what she had done wrong. Money opened doors, but it couldn't quiet the fear that Isabella's world would always be small. Ethan's world was small too, but in a different way. His son, Leo, was bright and curious, forever asking how things worked. They lived in a cramped apartment where the heater rattled and the lights flickered. When Leo was diagnosed with a mild motor delay, Ethan couldn't afford specialized equipment. So he built it. He scavenged scrap metal, old electronics, and broken toys, turning them into balance boards, grip trainers, and playful contraptions that made therapy feel like a game. Leo laughed as he practiced, and slowly, he improved. Word spread quietly. A neighbor asked if Ethan could help her niece. A school aide invited him to fix a broken sensory table. Ethan never charged much. Sometimes not at all. He wasn't trying to start a business. He was just solving problems the only way he knew how. One afternoon, fate collided. Victoria had insisted on touring a small community center after hearing rumors of innovative therapy tools. She expected polished presentations. Instead, she found Ethan crouched on the floor, tightening a bolt on a strange-looking walking frame while children giggled around him. She almost walked out, but then she saw Isabella watching, eyes wide with something she hadn't seen in years, hope. Ethan spoke plainly. No jargon, no promises. He explained how the device worked, how it supported weight without restricting movement, how it encouraged the brain to form new pathways through repetition and play. Victoria was skeptical, guarded by years of disappointment. But Isabella reached for the frame, her fingers shaking with excitement. That was enough. The first weeks were brutal. Isabella cried from frustration. Her muscles resisted every movement. Victoria hovered, torn between fear and longing. Ethan adjusted the device daily, listening, watching, refining. He treated Isabella not like a fragile problem, but like a person capable of progress. That alone changed something. Challenges piled up. Media attention threatened to shut everything down when a reporter caught wind of the billionaire's daughter training in a rundown center. Lawyers warned Victoria of liability. Doctors argued the approach was unproven. And Ethan nearly quit when the center threatened eviction due to zoning issues. He didn't belong in Victoria's world, and he knew it. The stares, the whispers, they reminded him daily. But then Isabella laughed, not a polite laugh, but a full, ringing sound that echoed off the walls. She had taken a step without realizing it. Just one. But it was hers. From there, momentum grew. Ethan spent nights redesigning, skipping sleep. Victoria used her influence quietly, funding the center anonymously, shielding it from scrutiny. She watched Ethan with a mixture of gratitude and awe. He never asked for recognition. He only asked Isabella to try again tomorrow. The real miracle wasn't sudden. It was earned inch by inch. Isabella's speech improved as her confidence grew. She learned to stand longer, to balance, to trust her body. And one afternoon, in the hospital corridor where she'd once endured yet another bleak prognosis, she let go of the frame and walked toward Ethan on her own. Victoria broke. All the years of fear, guilt, and helplessness poured out of her in sobs she could no longer contain. She knelt, thanking a man who looked like he might disappear if she let go. Ethan didn't know what to say. He just held her hands and smiled through tears of his own. In the weeks that followed, offers came pouring in. Investors, interviews, awards. Ethan turned most of them down. He agreed only to one thing: expanding access. Together, he and Victoria built programs that brought affordable therapy tools to families who had been told no too many times. They argued sometimes about scale, about risk, but they shared a belief that miracles shouldn't belong only to the rich. Isabella kept walking. Some days were hard. Some days she stumbled, but she always got back up. And every time she did, she reminded everyone watching that a miracle isn't magic. It's persistence, compassion, and the courage to believe in someone when the world has given up. Years later, people would still tell the story, calling Ethan a hero and Isabella a miracle child. But those who knew them understood the truth. The miracle wasn't that a single dad helped a billionaire's daughter walk. It was that two broken worlds collided and chose hope over fear, proving that love, when paired with relentless determination, can rewrite any ending.